Stuttering pride, respect, dignity, recognition. These terms, with the overarching theme of stuttering pride, mean something drastically different to each of us. As Scott and I were discussing a possible topic that aligns with this year's theme, we talked about how the idea of self empowerment really connects these concepts.
Empowerment. What a unique and fantastic word. It means to give authority to or permit self empowerment. Well, that means to permit ourselves to do what we want to do based on who we are, our actions, and values, and who we really want to be. Yeah, Dan and I wanted to explain how acceptance and commitment therapy, also called ACT, can self-empower yourself to live a values-based life, and also develop a flexible mind. As a person who stutters, you may be asking, what is acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT? Well, it can be a way of a life to develop our thoughts and actions and have them connect. There are six principles. So the first principle that I started with as a person who stuttered was acceptance and willingness. I spent most of my childhood avoiding my stuttering, and I got so angry about this that it led to a very dark time in my life. I had suicidal thoughts and actions. Psychology lets us know that the more that we avoid a thought, a negative thought, the more it comes back. So for all those years I spent experientially avoiding my stuttering, both mentally and physically, I was then holding on to those negative thoughts even more until I learned that I could be willing to see those thoughts, be willing to listen to my own stuttering, and that it took time, because it's hard being willing to do or see things that we don't like. Acceptance itself does not mean that you have to like something. It just means that you can be able to walk with it. Not like it, but be with it with as little a judgment as possible. And for me, just being able to listen to myself stutter and see those negative thoughts and not needing to hang on to them, judge them, was moving towards acceptance and that idea of being willing to do it. The next principle I learned from ACT was being present. The moment is such an important part of our lives, don't you think? I learned this right before I started my PhD. I lost a cousin to suicide and a friend to cancer, and I realized in that moment how important every moment really, really is, and how worrying about things, it just didn't fit me anymore. And so I learned a mindfulness and how to be present. And for me, a meditation. And that's not a religion. It's just a practice of being present. This has helped me allow my stuttering to come and just happen. I am self-empowering on my own speech, my own thoughts about my speech, because I'm not spending as much time worrying about it anymore. The next principle of ACT I've been working on is called thought diffusion. And language is a powerful thing, and if we keep creating negative thoughts in our mind, it fosters and it feeds those negative thoughts. So for me, being willing to see those thoughts as just language, as just words, as just sounds, and being present in that moment of seeing those thoughts with as little judgment as I can, I am then able to play with those words and play with those thoughts and not hang on to them so much, because those thoughts held me back from talking on the phone to a friend or meeting a new people. So by seeing these thoughts as just words and language and as just options that I could think, I'm then empowering myself to move forward into the person I want to be.
For many years, I believed that I was a stutterer. This is to say that I held the negative belief that my stuttering was all of me. It was what people knew of me and what I knew of myself. Every thought, action, belief was guided by my stuttering. It was all consuming. Through time, experience, and being open to other perspectives of potential realities, I began to reconceptualize my stuttering as just a part of me, not the entirety of who I was. I began stepping outside of my thinking and analyzing and critical self to experience my observing self, and by changing the words and language I was using to describe me and the context I was in, the more I did this, the more I noticed that I was enjoying these newly described aspects of myself. I began directing my internal monologue to see the full context of most situations. For example, I may have stuttered a lot while ordering my meal, but what I said was important, and I got my meal how I wanted it, so I framed that as a success. Understanding your values and value system will help you know what really drives you and what makes life worth living for you. Values are individualized to you, and they are not the same from person to person. They are different than objects we want or choices we make due to a variety of situations or reasons. For example, if you make a choice that is easy, let's say not disclosing the fact that you stutter when you talk to someone new, instead of openly talking about your stuttering and maybe even pseudo-stuttering some, it may increase the thoughts of self-judgment that you have. Whereas if you clearly understand your values and your value system, you can choose to live a value-guided life by making choices that will lead you closer to what is most meaningful to you and the direction you choose your life to take. Living a value-guided life requires committed actions, planning, and enacting change in our behaviors, which could include our thoughts, actions, likely includes willingness, discomfort, motivation, determination, and perseverance. Changing from the known to unknown is very difficult.
Life is a series of choices. What choices we make is up to us. And the thoughts that we choose are up to us. The actions that we choose are really up to us. For me, being present in the moment, being willing to see my thoughts as just words while stepping outside of myself and connecting my values with everyday life has been the most rewarding journey of my life. This process has kept me alive, both mentally and literally, physically. For me, it's been a way of life, a constant line of growth. Now, you don't have to use every principle and act. You could use just one or more than one. It's up to you. Again, the choice is yours. Make choices for you so that you can live a values-based life and empower you to be you.
But seeing the potential benefit through increased cognitive flexibility that we've obtained via ACT may help us lean into our discomfort and start living our lives how we want to.